Hi, and welcome to Krannert Art Museum Yoga. I'm Jodi. Thanks so much for joining me today. Happy Friday. Almost weekend. We're looking at some better weather coming after our snow day this week. So if you're noticing probably some stiffness in the body, it could be because we're fluctuating weather. So just be easy with yourself. Get some good sleep, stay hydrated, and really honor the season. So starting to eat what's in season, going to farmers markets, going to the food co-op if you're local. So paying attention to all that spring has to offer. So with all that being said, we'll do some yoga. Today we'll use a strap. Oftentimes I'll say that and then we don't use it, but today I mean it. A couple of blocks and then a blanket. You can have a bolster or a pillow or something for Shavasana that can be nice to use. So let's just start seated. So have the strap or a scarf nearby. Make your way to seated. I like to sit on the blanket, allowing the pelvis to tilt forward, legs to ground. And I'm a little chilly, but it's still kind of cold. So I'm gonna make my nervous system happy and do a little bundling here. So making sure you feel warm enough, you feel supported as you make your way to sit. Think about a tall spine, a little bit of back body strengthening to open up the front of the body so the chest is open. I'll often call that the heart. Collarbones spread, but there's no tension, just an awareness of posture. Relaxed in the neck, but again, supporting the weight of the head. Relaxed quality to the face. Notice where you hold tension, maybe in the jaw or the eyes. You can close the eyes or soften your gaze. And welcome yourself to your practice. This gift of time, that's all for you. Whatever you need it to be. Allowing for an opportunity now to just check in. See how you feel. Check in with the mind, the emotions, the body. Everything that we bring to our mats, to our practice. Notice if the mind feels busy, energy feels scattered, or maybe you're tired. It's been a long week, a long year for sure. It might be affecting us. And again, that weather shift as well. So just staying curious. Beginning to discern cause and effect. The amount of sleep that we get and the foods that we eat. In our practice. A moment to connect with your breath. See if you can just allow the mind to find focus in the breath. The mind will wander and judge and think, but we can return, make a choice to return to the breath. Noticing where you feel most connected to the breath, perhaps in sensation. Just awareness of breath. And letting that hold you here. Just a few more easy breaths in and out of the body. Still aware of posture of the physical body. Taking a cleansing breath, breathe in through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. A few more times if that felt good. Could even sneeze. Excuse me. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more time like that, inhaling and exhaling. You can form an intention for this practice, something that feels personal, positive, something to guide you on the mat today. If you have something in mind, you can bring the palms together right at the heart, seal that intention within. Beginning to bow the head slightly, interlacing the fingers. And starting to press the palms forward, rock the back body back, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. Finishing an exhalation here. Inhaling, arching them back slightly, lift the gaze. Flip the hands around, knuckles forward, exhale, rounding. And palms in towards the chest. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale, flip the palms around, rounding the spine. Just a couple more times like that. Moving with the breath. Think about creating space in the body. Opening and awakening the spine. One more time. After this next exhalation, bring the hands to the heart, sit up tall. Begin to, as you keep fingers interlaced, press the palms skyward. So as much as is available to you. And from here, just starting to pulse the arms back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin to release the fingers, float the arms down like you're moving through water. Palms release alongside the body. Taking rolls through shoulders, up, back, and down a few times. Breathing. Always that invitation to breathe deeper, to sigh, if that feels good. Just moving the head up and down. Big yeses. Big nods of the head. We'll see what's available to you. Keeping the connection to the breath. Notice sensation. Everything should feel good. No sharpness, no pain in the body as we move. Chin parallel to the earth. Start to shake the head gently no from side to side. Take your time. One more time, from side to side. Bring the gaze over the right shoulder. Find that gentle edge and then release the gaze down, chin towards the collarbone. Breathe here. And start to reach the left arm away, fingers reaching down. Finding still a tall spine. Keeping the connection to the breath. And stay here or float the right arm up, palm more towards the back of the head, drawing it forward. Finding more expansion on that left side of the neck, maybe into the shoulder. One more breath. Relaxing the arms, the hands resting on the thighs or the knees, gently lift the head. Chin is parallel to the earth and rotate from side to side, gazing over the shoulders. Maybe the side that you did a little more open, and then we'll do the other side. So gaze to the left, find the edge, release the head down. And reach the right fingertips away. Use your breath. stay here or going deeper, floating that left arm up, adding extra weight with the hand. Just a few breaths. One more breath. And head can stay heavy. So you relax the arms, hands can rest on the thighs or the knees, finding a level chin, and rotate the gaze from side to side. Hopefully a bit more range of motion in the neck. Hopefully it doesn't feel as sticky or resistant to move. Arriving, coming back through center. You can roll through the shoulders, up, back, and down. Palms can plant alongside the hips. Lengthen out through the legs. So from here, inner legs zip together strongly. And as you press into the earth, arch the back, lift the gaze. Inhale. As you exhale, tucking the tailbone, rounding the spine. Think about the crown of the head in towards the belly, and then inhaling, arching, pressing into the earth. Open the heart. Exhale, finding that roundedness. One more time like that. Active through the whole body. Finishing this exhalation in that rounded shape of the spine. Back to a neutral spine, and you can shift off the support if you're on it, like I am. Palms stay alongside the hips, knees go wide, feet go wide, and just start to move the knees a little from side to side. So see if you can get that sensation of self-massage in the glutes. And then making bigger sweeping movements with the knees from side to side. One more time from side to side. Coming back through center. Just a moment to lengthen out through the legs. Feet wide. You can start to point and flex through the feet. So you want a tall spine here. We're just moving in the ankles, freeing energy all the way through the extremities. You can spread the toes. And then relax the toes, relax the legs. Begin to relax the torso and the head forward. So the weight of the head, opening up the neck and the shoulders. If it feels good, you can stay. If you want more sensation, you can sway the head gently from side to side. Just to see what happens. Make sure this feels appropriate for your body. You can sway the torso a bit from side to side. And coming back through center, finding stillness. One more breath. Pressing the palms into the earth, toning the belly, rolling up through seated. And roll through the shoulders, up, back, and down. Open the heart. Moment to bring the soles of the feet together. Let the heels be further out. So you're creating more of a diamond shape. We're just bowing forward once again. You can take hold of the feet. Bowing the head. Breathing here. So more of an inner leg opening. Also opening up through the pelvic floor. Stretching the hips. Breathing into the low back. Just a couple more breaths. And once again, you can use arm strength, you can use core strength to grow the spine tall. Arriving, beginning to come into a comfortable cross-legged seated position and find your strap or your scarf or a long sleeve shirt. Do some beautiful side body and shoulder opening. So from here, just floating the arm up. Then, without puffing out the chest, draw the strap back behind you, really lengthen out through the elbows. You can change the positioning of the hands, you can widen that positioning if you need to, and then just float up, lengthen through the elbows, relax through the shoulders, release the strap back down in front. And then you can start with that more narrow stance or positioning of the hands, maybe shoulder width or a little wider. Lengthen, lengthen, tone the core, draw the ribs in towards the spine, punch through the knuckles, relax back behind you. And then inhale to float up, exhale, coming forward. So that was just to tone the shoulders a little bit. And we'll get into side waist. So you can ground or trap the strap under the right hand. And you want a little bit of tension in the strap with the left hand. That left bicep is by the ear and you're lengthening through the arm. You can start to rock back. Think about the chest revolving towards the sky. And then rock more forward. I lose a little tension here, but it takes a minute to maybe assess how much tension is the good tension and how much is causing tension in the mind and the body. So there should be a stretch sensation. Really try to lengthen out through that left elbow, but not so much that you can't breathe or that there's sharpness. So let's just revolve back a couple more times. So breathing along the way. I'm going to shorten this just a little bit. You can always change this up as you need. One last time in that revolved torso. Back through a more neutral spinal flexion. Relax the left arm. A moment here just to roll through the wrists. Both directions. Again, roll through the elbows a little bit. In the opposite direction. Felt that on my shoulder. Stretching arms up, nice and tall. Inhale and then exhale, floating arms down alongside the body. And just roll through shoulders up, back, and down a couple times. Maybe sensing a difference between the shoulders. And then we'll just do the other side. So the left hand will trap the scarf alongside the left hip. You can start with a little more tension, but be loose with the strap in the right hand. And then start to use that tension to rock the arm back. You can gaze up, twisting in the spine. I think I'm tighter on this left side today, or this right side rather. A couple more times. Let the right hip be heavy. Maybe pause and breathe into that space. Definitely feeling it more on this side. Say a couple more times. Finding expansion, moving into places of discomfort. Again, if it feels safe and there's no pain. Always using the breath as a guide. One more rotation. And hopefully your side is opened as much as my side. I'm definitely feeling a little bit more expansion. And then strap can just go off to the side. And we'll make our way to a child's pose. Sometimes to start, my hips are usually pretty tight, my low back is tight. I'm not sure what I would do without yoga. So I like to sometimes have a block or a pillow underneath my forehead. And that just allows some spaciousness here. I'm not forcing anything, so see where you're at. This also allows a little bit more freedom of movement, so I can rock the head a little from side to side as I heavy the hips to heels. You can find your breath here as you come into a place of stillness. Maybe a deeper breath. And then begin to press the palms under the shoulders. Blocks can come off to the side. So making your way to a tabletop position and creating a nice long spine. Spread through the fingers as you support the weight in the hands and the knees as the head is heavy. And start to sway the head gently from side to side. Breathe. Start to round the spine slightly. You can begin to circle the hips clockwise or counterclockwise, really moving the hips in a circular direction as much as possible. Again, notice the strength and support that it takes to maintain this shape as you rock forward and the shoulders go beyond the wrists. So feel that pressure, that strength, and then circle in the opposite direction. And then eventually coming back through center, we'll work in the wrists and the forearms a little bit. So the fingers can face the side walls, and my fingers are off the mat. So with straight elbows, just begin to rock from side to side. Make sure this feels safe for you. No tension, no sharpness in the joints. One more time, just rocking from side to side a little. Back through center. You can stay here, moving through cat-cow, or maybe angle the fingers so they face the rear corners of the mat. And then do a little cat-cow. If you know that you've got some mobility in this position, then you can spin the hands so the fingers face in towards the thighs or the knees by all means. And just continue those movements in the spine. They might be more subtle, depending on how the hands are oriented. Breathing, moving with the breath. One more time. After your next exhalation, slowly, incrementally walk the hands, the fingers face forward once again. You can grab a block or something to sit on if you like. Just come to seated on your shins for a moment. And again, an opportunity to roll out through the wrist joints. And rolling in the opposite direction. From here, making sure that the fingers face behind you, the backs of the hands, actually, I guess the tops of the hands are on the ground. Begin to curl the fingers in, making gentle fists, lengthen out through the elbows, and then begin to extend the fingers out once again. Curl the fingers in, make gentle fists, and then lengthen elbows as you extend the fingers out again. Just a couple more times like that. You can release out of that and just shake out the hands a little bit. Do a lot of weight bearing in yoga, so it's beautiful to create that strength and that expansion where it matters in those joints that maybe are not as strong as other joints. Think about this as a lifelong practice. So from here, coming back into your tabletop position. So again, we have a little bit of weight bearing here, so really get in that habit of strengthening pressing into fingertips, pressing into knuckles. Press the mat away, engage the core, tuck the tailbone, and extend the left leg out. Keep all of that tucking and engagement toned through the left buttock muscle, that glute, and the hamstring. We're just going to pulse that up for 10. Touch the toes. 9, 8, keep the hips squared. 7, neutral neck. 6, 5, keep breathing. 4, tuck the tailbone. 3, 2, squeeze the glutes. Last one, draw the knee underneath you for support. And then again, press the mat away, tuck the tailbone, engage the core. Extend the right leg out, tone through the glutes and the hamstring. Begin to lift for 10. 9, keep breathing. 8, 7, keep tucking the tailbone. 6, 5, 4, keep squeezing the glutes. 3, 2, lift with the heel. Last one, draw the knee underneath you. You can begin to curl the toes under, walk the hands back. We'll give the glutes a nice stretch in a squatted position. Give the wrists a rest with the backs of the hands to the earth, bowing forward. One more breath. Flipping the hands back around. And start to walk the hands out, finding a down dog. You can play with pedaling out through the feet. You can bend one knee, ground that heel. Extend one leg, ground that heel, bend the opposite knee. And then switch it out. Really getting that calf stretch. Tone the belly, press the mat away. Pop those joints. Maybe that's just me. Keep breathing. Think about strong in the shoulders. Strong legs. Coming to just a neutral leg. Heels are still heavy, my hamstrings, my calves are really tight, so they're not necessarily grounding easily just yet. Just recognizing that. Connecting to the breath. One more breath. Beginning to release the knees, they can go wide. Untuck the toes, round the spine, shift the hips back to the heels, finding your child's pose once again. Using your breath here. One more breath. From here, begin to press back up to a tabletop position. We're going to play with our Chaturanga Push-Up, so building strength in the core and the arms. Elbows stay hugged in towards the midline. Again, it's that shifting of the weight forward to tuck the tailbone and engage the core, rounding the spine, inhaling. Exhale to keep all of that intact. Make your way slowly to the earth. So lots of arm strength, lots of core strength. Coming onto the belly. And preparing, elbows hugging in around the spine. Lift the belly away from the earth, press the mat away. Try to have that straight, strong back, and then shift the weight back a little bit, freeing up the wrists. And then shift forward. If that was just really hard, and you had that sway in the low back, that arched position, you only want to go down so far that you can press back up. So shifting forward, engage the core. Maybe you just go down an inch because that's how you know you can press back up. So just do a couple more of these. Maybe you go down all the way and you just touch your nose to the ground. Does not matter. Building strength anyway. And then do make your way onto the belly. Lengthening out, flattening out. You can bend the elbows more to the sides, making a little pillow for the head. Inner big toes touch, heels splay out. You can rock the hips from side to side a little, releasing tension. And then just soften for a moment, feel your ground. Reconnect to your breath. One more breath. Begin to stretch long through the arms, wrists in line with shoulders, lengthen through the legs, forehead to the earth. From here, just lifting the right arm and the left leg. Think about lengthening to lift. Otherwise, you're just crunching. Exhale, relax that back down. Inhale, lengthen to lift left arm, right leg. Exhale, slowly with control back to the earth. Inhale, lengthen to lift right arm, left leg. Hips stay squared to the earth. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, back down. One more time. Each side. Finishing left arm, right leg. Bend the elbows. And you can rest the opposite cheek. On the hands or the forearms. Inner big toes can touch. Heels can splay out. And you can rock the hips from side to side. Finding stillness. Slow the breath. Taking a deeper breath. And one more breath. And then finding your strap. So we'll do some leg scales, some stretching with the legs using the strap. You don't necessarily need it, but it can be nice to use as a support. I really love doing these. It's a lot of just kind of passive stretching, using a lot of gravity and props. So, you're going to be on your left side. So we'll start by just extending the left arm, head on the arm like a pillow, lengthen through the legs. It's like you're in mountain pose. You just kind of fell over on that left side. Fingertips can come to the earth, or the right arm just resting on top of the thigh, left palm to the earth. This just helps to stabilize you. Reclining Buddha. And then do bring the fingertips to the earth. And we're just going to extend that right leg up for 10, 9, keep breathing, 8, squeeze at the top, 7, we're strengthening the hip, 6, strengthen the hip flexor, 5, release any tension, 4, still breathing, 3, still squeezing, 2, nice slow and controlled movements, last one, lift it up. So you can just do a yogic toe grip, first 2 fingers and thumb. That's okay. My big toe gets kind of tired of this after a while, and my fingers do too, so I just like to use a strap. Actually, I prefer the scarf because it's just kinder on all the body parts. It's a softer material. Right at the ball of the foot, it's right where the toes meet the foot. So you can use bicep strength here, or Sometimes I like to transfer the ends of the strap into the left hand, and maybe the right hand just catches the heel. And I'm really stabilizing through that left leg, so the pinky toe edge of the foot is creating the balance. Otherwise I'm going to rock forward too much, or I'm going to rock back too much. Ooh, almost did. So the least amount of effort as possible in this stretch. You can hang out, you can close your eyes, connect to the breath. One more breath. And then you can release the strap and slowly with control relax that right leg down. I'm just coming back into our original starting position. And then from here, we'll do a shoulder opener. So you're going to roll onto the belly. The right arm is going to extend out. It's going to be on the ground, so move props out of the way. It can be angled up, so the wrist is above the shoulder. It can be in line with the shoulder. You can also come into more of a goalpost arm, cactus arm. That's a deep stretch. So sometimes I like to do the angle. Start to reach that right arm away and start to bend the top knee, almost like that the toes could touch the right elbow, and then rock back a little. You can drive the knee forward a little bit, rocking back like that toe is going to meet maybe the hand. Rocking forward, and then again, one last time, drive, drive, drive. So we're engaging that glute and hamstring. Breathing. Maybe the foot settles down behind the bottom leg. Couple breaths. This opens up the chest. The bicep can get a stretch here. One more breath. I'm just going to roll on back through center. Forehead to the earth, palms under the shoulders, roll the shoulders up, back and down. Baby cobras. Inhale, lift the head, or lift the heart, the head follows. Exhale, soften back down to the earth. Inhale, lifting, and exhale, lowering. And then you're just going to roll onto that other side. I'm just going to flip around so you can still see the front of me. And again, you'll just have your strap handy. Extend that right arm out, legs long, pinky toe edge of the right foot to the ground. Fingers can be in front to stabilize or arm on top. Just to start. Then when we start to move this leg, I do like to bring the fingertips back in front. And then slowly with control for 10, 9, separate the legs. 8, kind of crunching that side. 7, lots of activation. 6, breathing. 5, 4, activate that quadricep. 3, hip flexors working 2. See what I did there? And 1. Keep the leg up. Again, you can take the toe grip. I prefer the strap still, even though a little more flexible on this side. Still gets me more flexibility to use this strap because it's just more comfortable. So I'm going to transfer the ends of the strap to that right hand, left hand to the heel. I'm actively separating the legs. I'm actively engaging and squeezing that thigh. Thinking about compressive energy in that hip flexor, bringing the thigh to the side waist. So it's not just a lazy legs hanging out. There's actually activation happening. I'm driving the pinky toe edge of this bottom foot to the earth. And at the same time, finding a relaxed quality in the mind and the body. Maybe closing the eyes. One more breath. You can release the foot and slowly, with control, relax that back down. And then start to come back onto the belly. And it's that left arm that's out to the side. And then start to roll to the left. You can extend the arm, you can bend the knee, bend the top knee, and then again it's as if that toe could touch the elbow, and then rock forward. You can drive the knee slightly forward, and then reaching back, glutes active, squeezing that engagement of the hamstring back, as if you could touch that left hand. One more time, driving the leg back, back, back. Squeeze the heel to the butt. And this side I'm much tighter. So the sole of the foot doesn't really go to the ground for me. It might for you. I struggle a bit on this side with that tightness. It's a lot of the hip rotation as well. On this right side, just doesn't go. But it's something to work on. A few breaths. Feeling that beautiful stretch, no pain, no holding. One more breath. You can lengthen out that top leg. Start to roll onto the belly. And then just propping yourself up on your forearms. So again, it's not a passive stretch. We can actively drag the hands and the elbows back towards the hips, reach the heart forward with an activation. Tuck the tailbone, lengthen through the legs. Maybe strengthen the back body so much so that when you release the ground, you stay relatively where you're at to draw the palms under the shoulders into a cobra. And then absorb the belly to the spine, round the spine, press the mat away, coming into a child's pose. Reset here. 3 deep breaths here. Begin to stretch long through the arms. Elbows lift. Lift to the gaze, to the fingers. Lift hips up and back as you curl toes under, coming into down dog. Inner big toes touch, pressing the mat away. And think about splits. Draw the low belly in and up. We're going to pulse that left leg back. Lead with the heel for 5. Touch the toes. 4. See if you can ground the right heel. Mindful of the hamstring. 3. 2. The last one. Release the foot to the earth. Lift the right leg up and then step that right foot forward. Find your strap. Ground the left heel. And then as you rise, coming into just warrior one stance with the legs. So front knee is bent, back leg is straight. Begin to bring the strap behind you. Lengthen through the arms. You can punch the knuckles away. And slightly arch through the back. Lift the gaze. Might feel good to inhale, lengthen through that right leg. Exhale to settle the hips back down. Bending deeply through the front knee. Inhale, toning through the legs. Tone that left glute. Exhale, sink. Ground that left heel. One more time. Inhaling. And as you exhale, bringing the torso to the inside of the front foot. Float the arms up away from the back body. Humble warrior. Breathing here. And then inhale to rise. You can move the strap out of the way, framing that front foot. Step it back to plank. You can vinyasa or just come into down dog. So inhale, floating forward. Exhale, maybe knees to the earth, lowering down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inner big toes touch. Pressing the mat away. And then the right heel is going to lift. Think about splits. For 5, touch the toes back down. 4, lead with the heel. 3, toes point down. Hips squared to the earth. 2, maybe that left heel grounds a bit more. Last one. Foot to the ground, and then left heel lifts, inhale. Exhale, stepping that left foot through. Grounding both feet. Find the strap. Deep bend in that front knee to rise. Warrior one stance. You might not need the strap. Your shoulders might be more open than mine, but again, I like to use it. It gives me a little more freedom in the spine. And you can play with straightening that front knee, bending the knee, lengthening that right leg. My right calf is super tight today, so just noticing maybe a difference, balance in your body. Keeping that right buttock engaged, that right leg strengthening and lengthening. Inhale here, and then exhale. Keep the length in the spine. Torso to the inside of the front thigh. Float the arms away from the back body. Keep thinking about expansion in this pose and control. Finishing an exhalation. And as you inhale, rise. Power through the legs. Strap to the side. Frame the front foot. Sweep it back. And again, your choice to vinyasa or just down dog. So inhale, prepare. Exhale, lower. Maybe you hover. Inhale, up dog if you're hovering. Cobra if you're not. Exhale, back to down dog. You can always rest in child's pose. 3 breaths wherever you're at. And then knees to the earth. Making your way to seated. Legs extend out. Do a little hip love. Legs long, Dandasana. Spine long. Fingertips alongside the hips, lengthen through the spine. And flex through the feet. Whole body's active here. We'll do my right side. So my right side's tighter. I'm not sure where you're at, but I'm right side dominant. It's just a tighter side. So I'm flexing the right foot, placing the outer ankle on top of the left thigh. And pretending that one day, this knee will release towards the earth. So still sitting up tall, you can hinge forward at the hips with a straight back. So even thinking about arching the back. You can also plant the palms alongside the hips, bending through that left knee. So you're more on top of the sit bones, tall spine still. This is nice because then you can kind of rock it out. Really getting into that hip joint. Get off my noisy floor area, creaking, and stilling the movement. Think about one day, that shin coming in to touch the chest. Close the eyes or soften the gaze and just breathe. From here, you'll start to heel to toe, that left foot over towards the right hip. Start to ground the right foot to the earth. Start to settle both sit bones to the ground. And then just continue to twist over to the right, gazing over the right shoulder, at the same time hugging the right thigh in towards the belly. Think about a tall spine. Use your breath. One more deeper breath. And releasing and unwinding the spine. You can rock back. Think about boat pose energy as you just release the legs out. Legs long, arms long, maybe biceps are by the ears. And then landing with control, Dandasana, palms alongside the hips or fingertips. Pressing into the earth, flexing through both feet. Resettle, recenter. And then keep the left foot flexed. Place the outer ankle on top of the right thigh. Again, we've got some options here. This might be enough, or you can even go in stages. So here for a while and then go into that second part. Knee releasing towards the earth, the top of the pelvis shifting forward with the spine along for the ride will get you more than just rounding into this. I lose the stretch sensation is what I'm trying to say. Or palms alongside the hips to bend that right knee. Sitting more on top of the sit bones is nice to give that outer hip that little squeeze, little massage. And keep the foot in flexion to protect the knee joint. Think about shin to the heart. Closing the eyes or softening the gaze and just breathe. Create space with the breath. One more breath. Start to heel to toe the right foot to the left hip. Start to ground that left foot to the earth alongside the right thigh. Left hip stays grounded as well. Tall spine, hug the thigh in, and then start to twist to the left. Left hand can come to the earth, right hand drawing that thigh in, breathing. Finding where you can relax into this. A couple more breaths. And then revolving out. You can reach the arms forward for leverage as you rock back, coming into boat pose. From here you can come into a more of a hollow body. You can keep the arms forward around the spine, bring the low back to the ground, pausing, heels and legs lifted for 3, 2, and 1. As you release the heels, stretch the arms long overhead, full body stretch. You can wiggle out the hips. Take a cleansing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Relax the arms down alongside the body, bending one knee, then the other. Begin to tuck the tailbone with strength in the glutes, in the hamstrings. Peel the pelvis. Feel more of the spine away from the earth. Without actually moving the knees, think about energetically bringing them together. Nothing happens, you're just bringing more energy to those adductors. You can release some tension in the low back, finding more freedom. Keep lifting, keep engaging. One more inhalation here. And then curl the spine. Ride the breath down as you exhale. Tailbone meets the mat, very last. Keeping the low back pressed into the earth. Hug the knees into the chest. You can start to rock a little from side to side. And then finding center, finding stillness as you plant your feet. You'll lift the hips up and over to the left and settle them back down. Left knee comes on top of the right. Maybe go for the double bind at the ankle. Arms open up, inhale. Exhale, knees to the right. Gazing over the left shoulder. Open the heart. Make sure this feels safe. Body is relaxed. The mind. Breath is slowing. Heartbeat slows. One more breath. You can release the bind if that feels safer for the body, floating that top knee up, followed by the bottom. Hug the knees into the chest for a little rock and a reset. And then replanting the feet. Lift the hips up and over to the right. Settle them down. Drawing the right knee on top of the left. Squeeze the inner legs together. Arms open, inhaling. And then exhale. Knees to the left. Gaze to the right. You can always have support underneath you. Really feeling spacious. Letting everything go. One more breath. Bring the gaze skyward. The neck is neutral. And again, maybe the knees come up separately. Just kinder on the low back and the outer hip. You can rock from side to side here. Finishing your practice any way you need. Might feel good to come into a happy baby. Bending the knees, reaching for the pinky toe edges of feet. The feet are skyward. Head is heavy. Shoulders relaxed. One more breath. And relaxing the legs long. You always have a bolster under the knees. You want to make sure you're warm enough. The body will cool as we rest. Relax the arms alongside the body. Tuck the shoulders under the back body. Aligning the neck. Closing the eyes. And resting. Getting to notice your breath. Notice your body. Beginning to reawaken the body with movement. Fingers, the toes, ankles, wrists. Opening and closing the mouth into a yawn as you stretch arms overhead and breathe. Bending one knee, bend the other, feet planting. Staying mindful. Roll gently to either side, using your head like a pillow, your arm like a pillow for your head. Curling into a fetal position, recalling your intention here. You can take that with you into the rest of your day or something new. With closed eyes or a soft gaze, use the strength of your arms to press up to seated, with a rounded spine and a heavy head. And as you make your way to seated, you can find a tall spine. Open the heart. And bring the hands to the heart. Anjali Mudra, the seal of offering. A moment to acknowledge this offering to yourself, this gift of time and practice. And I'm grateful for the honor to lead and guide you through this practice. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Stretchy kitty.